Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. This is Pradeep and you're watching Vlog of Note. So, the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra is the best phone ever made, the most awesome phone ever. And I know that there are some of you who are considering how much you have to give up in order to be able to buy this phone. However, there is one fatal flaw that I think you need to be aware of. So, let's get started. Before we start, let me tell you about all of the things that are wrong with this phone but are not really fatal flaws. There are 5 things in my opinion which are wrong with this phone which Samsung could have done better in order to give us a better overall package. The first is the price. This phone is really expensive. The starting price of the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra is $1,400 and in India it's going to go into the 6-digit mark. Apple has now become Samsung and Samsung has now become Apple. How much will you have to give up in order to buy a phone which you probably will be forced to replace in 2 years' time? The second thing that's wrong with this phone is the RAM. Don't get me wrong, it has 16 gigs of LPDDR5 RAM. It's extremely fast, but it's a little bit of overkill here. Considering the fact that the problem with Android is not that it is not able to hold a lot of apps in memory, but rather it's not able to open apps as fast as the iPhone. Speaking of the iPhone 11 Pro Max has 1/4 the amount of RAM as the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra. The third thing that's wrong with the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra is the camera gimmickry. So you have a 108 megapixel camera and it's supposed to be really awesome. However, it's not really 108 megapixels. It's 0.8 microns to begin with, which is not really ideal, and it bins or groups all of those huge pixels down into a smaller 12 megapixel image, meaning it's going to be just the same as every other smartphone on the market. Also, secondly, 8K video. How many displays do you own which can play 8K content? This content appears to be noisy looking at the test footage, and also you're not going to be able to edit it or render it without going through a whole bunch of hoops first. And finally, space zoom. So Samsung goes on saying that they have 100x zoom on the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra. But I'll ask you, once you've zoomed into an image for 100 times, what you're left with is a smudge. You can zoom in 100 times, but the question is, do you really want to? And the next thing that's wrong with the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra is 5G. Yes, 5G is a race, and I don't think Samsung has come out with a 5G phone at the right time. So you have sub-6 and millimeter wave, and the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra supports both sub-6 and millimeter wave. So across the US, wherever there is 5G available, you should be able to take advantage of it. The only problem is 5G isn't widely available and it's incredibly expensive. In India, we're not even going to get 5G till mid-2021, which means you're paying for the overhead of a 5G phone, but most of the time you're going to be having to use it in 4G. The final thing that I think is wrong with the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra is that 120Hz refresh rate. Now, it is really awesome that we have 120Hz. The screen is super bright and vivid, but it's not set at 120Hz by default. You have to go into the settings, change it to 120Hz, where it will be set permanently. The screen resolution will drop to 1080p and the touch sample rate will go up to 240Hz. Now, this will probably kill your battery. iPad Pro was the only device, in my opinion, that did 120Hz properly because it had a variable refresh rate. And now, let's get to what I think is the fatal flaw of the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra: biometrics. So, Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra has an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor. We do not know how big this is or how fast it is, and it has a selfie camera for face unlock. Let's go back a little bit and talk about the iPhone X, which in 2017 gave us Face ID, a revolutionary system with a 3D dot projector, flood illuminator, IR projection, all of the things required to authenticate using your face, using something other than just an image of your face. So Apple's system was a game changer. The only close competitor that I could think of was the OnePlus 60, which came out in 2018 and gave us an under-display optical fingerprint sensor. However, this was really slow. OnePlus did have face unlock, but it could be fooled easily because it was just taking taking a picture of you. I don't know why OnePlus had to say never settle, because clearly they're making their users settle and they are not giving them unlock the speed using that optical fingerprint sensor. At this time, you had Samsung who had their iris scanner combined into something they called intelligent scan, where you had to line up your face and your eyes in a particular way with your screen and you couldn't look at it funny because it would hurt your eyes. Anyway, Samsung with the Samsung Galaxy S10, which is the predecessor of this phone, finally did away with iris scanning and gave us an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor, which was really bad. It was the Qualcomm 3D Sonic original and it was too small, it was too slow, it could be easily fooled by adding a screen protector on your phone. Oh, and that selfie camera based face unlock that Samsung was doing on the Samsung Galaxy S10, it could be easily fooled by your sister. So now finally we have the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra, the best flagship ever made, and it has an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor which can possibly be fooled by a screen protector. We have no idea whether this is the Qualcomm 3D Sonic Max, which is supposed to be 17 times bigger than the original 3D Sonic and is supposed to be round about the same speed, but at least is supposed to have better accuracy. We don't know as of now because this phone isn't widely available, but it's safe to assume that because the 3D Sonic Max is just as slow as the original 3D Sonic, this is also going to be a failed authentication system. And when it comes to the selfie camera, just because it's a 40 megapixel camera, we have no guarantee that it too will not be fooled by an image of your sister. All of this is not even taking into account the fact that Samsung has not promised additional Android updates on the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra, which means it's shipping with Android 10 and it's possibly going to get Android 11 and 12 eventually, but at the end of that, you're pretty much on your own. That's about it for this video, guys. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. I know a lot of you are planning on buying the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra. Please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I hope this video was helpful to you. Please go over to YouTube and subscribe to the Vlog of Note channel. Ring that notification bell so that you never miss a video, and I will see you guys in the next week's episode.